Hey guys, Prowl1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the legendary Season 13 of classic Doctor Who, which is probably the best season the show has ever done. My question is, if a story could get updated special effects for Season 13, which one would you give it to and why? First off, none of them necessarily need it. I think the special effects for every single one of these stories, for the most part, stand tall. They do well. They're fine. So I don't think there's any story in this season that just needs updated effects. Like, say, in Season 15, I really wanted Horror of Fang Rock to get them. I don't necessarily say it desperately needed them, but the original effects were, if there was any critique I could have made of Fang Rock, it was always that just the effects needed a little updating. But nowhere near, like, say, Resurrection of the Daleks, which desperately needs them. Season 13 is even more of nothing really needs it, even to the level I think Fang Rock did. Nothing there needs it. Some of them I wouldn't even put in contention. I mean, you'll notice, even on the DVD releases, none of them got updated effects. Now, to be fair, that's because a lot of them released early in the range, because the early Doctor Who stories in the DVDs tended to be very popular stories, so a lot of Season 13 was released very early on before they started doing updated effects a lot. I mean, I know Ark in Space from Season 12 had them, but those are very basic compared to the stuff they do now. Definitely by comparison, with them just doing the external spaceship shots for Ark in Space. I think Android Invasion, first off, doesn't need any. Android Invasion is fine. I wouldn't even consider it. I'd say the same thing about Brain of Morbius. Doesn't need any. It's fine the way it is. Those two you can take right off the table. They're fine. Seeds of Doom, really, the only thing that would need updating is the more adult Krynoid form. Now, the Krynoid form in the first two parts or so, where it's still vaguely humanoid, is fine. That's the stuff of nightmares. That's nightmare fuel. You could do a little more with its more adult forms where it's at the manor, especially its kind of full-grown form. You could do a little tweaking there. Do I think the story needs it? No, not really. I mean, I do think when I'm watching it, it looks a little silly, but the story for Seeds of Doom is so good, I just look past that and keep on going. So, like, if I was picking a story from Season 13, it wouldn't be Seeds of Doom, because I feel that's just the only thing it really needs. So unless they're just going to do like Season 20 and do more than one story, like Season 20, just did the snake and snake dance. So if they were going to just do the Krynoid as a little bonus, I'd be fine with that. But it doesn't really need it. So the last three seasons of the story, for the most part, are fine. It's the first three where if you wanted to do stuff, you could. But again, none of them need it. Pyramids of Mars, there's a few things you could do. The original effects look fine. I love Pyramids of Mars. It's one of the greatest Doctor Who episodes ever made. Top 10 material. But I've seen, like, one of the YouTubers has done some great fan updated effects for it. They look nice. They look good. So there are things you could do there. Like, the little timescape sarcophagus with the lights behind it. You could do stuff with that. Do I think it needs it? No, not at all. The original effects are fine, or they're good. But if you wanted to, you could. Planet of Evil, same way. I mean, again, I've seen somebody do updated effects for it on YouTube, and they look great. But it's not a story that needs it. The original effects are fine. The jungle set, of course, is amazing. I don't think it needs it. I actually really like the effect of just the id, like, looking like creature from, like, Forbidden Planet. The outline of it looks really good. Some of the laser blast and when the shields activate, I guess you could do some stuff with. Like, if there was a story that got picked, it would probably just be this one I picked, to be fair. If they came up and they're like, Prowl, we've seen your YouTube channel, we're blown away, we need you to decide this for us, I'd be like, well, you are very wise, yes, it's nice to know there's some wise people at the BBC. I would say Planet of Evil, and they'd be like, yes, Planet of Evil. Or I could just refer them to this video. So if it's Planet of Evil, I'm just going to assume they've watched this video, and they're like, But yeah, I think there is some stuff you could do there. Again, nothing needs it. Planet of Evil is fine the way it is. It doesn't need it. But if they were to do a season 13 story just because it's season 13 and they're like, we're putting out the best season ever in a box set, we need to do a little something here, this would be the one I would pick. Terror of the Zygons, I think, is the one a lot of people would pick. I personally think the Loch Ness Monster stuff looks good. I like the Loch Ness Monster scenes. I have no problems with it. I like the fact it's even got like an eyelid that blinks, the way it moves and walks. I am very happy with the original effects for the Loch Ness Monster. I'm very happy with these Zygons when they shapeshift. The ship, I'll admit, this is the one that objectively I could see them doing. Because you have, of course, the ship landing, the ship moving. I'm trying to remember really here. Terror of the Zygons, a little vague in my head. I could see, if they did updated effects, I could see why they would do this one. Although I think it could get a little pricey if you're redoing everything like the Loch Ness Monster and all that, all the spaceship scenes, all the shape-shifting scenes. It could get a little more expensive, so they might not be able to do it. But I could see this being people's popular pick, because there are definitely some things you could do with Terror of the Zygons to improve it, especially with it being such an iconic story. To be fair, this season is literally full of iconic stories and so many masterpieces. So I'd say the first three are the one I would concentrate on. The last three are fine. So I would work on either Terror of the Zygons, Planet of Evil, maybe Pyramids of Mars, just if your budget's running a little low and you just want to tweak a story a little bit, Pyramids of Mars. But if you got the budget to tweak the stories, either Terror of the Zygons or Planet of Evil. So that's my thoughts. Again, I don't think any of them need it, and if none of them get it, I am fine with that. When they do finally announce Season 13, if nothing has updated effects, I will be fine with that. I don't think anything desperately needs it. The stories stand on their own very well, and all of them have effects that look fine. So that's my thoughts on the matter. I want to know what you think. Comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. YouTube memberships are also available. My P.O. box is down there as well if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. And most importantly, thank you for watching.